Hey, what up? Big Red 310 here again. My voice feeling a little sore, but let's try to do some new videos today. I haven't made a video on this yet. The 2009 Wrestling Observer Newsletter Awards are out. I think because I'm subscribed. I don't think they're out for most, but because I'm subscribed, they show me the results. I believe these are the final results. I could be wrong though. Oh, first of all, I saw Fate of an Angel. I'll give you my review on that soon. I'm gonna watch Redemption like right now, actually, after I'm done with this video. Okay, so let's get down to it. Wrestler of the Year, the THESZ FLAIR Award. They gave it to Chris Jericho. Okay. His importance to the WWE was very, very significant. I do think he was more important than Randy Orton was in his reign. Now, I can't say if it was more than Punk, though. I think, though, that Davey to ROH was much, very, very important and very underrated. Or Austin Aries to ROH. A little more than Jericho was to WWE, that's my opinion. They said, you know, there was really no clear-cut favorite for any promotion based on drawing issues, the economy, whatever, that they just gave it to Jericho for what he did for the tag titles, which were complete shit. Actually, I disagree with them on that. I think once the titles became unified, they started gaining prestige little by little. I give credits to the Clones for starting it, then Jericho and Edge, obviously. But, like, the tag titles were complete shit before they got unified. And the Clones don't get the credit they deserve. I mean, I know they never defended those belts often, but still, I think once they got the fact that they were unified in and of itself, that gave them more prestige. Jericho and Sherwood did carry that on, I will admit. I give Ray credit more than anyone for boosting up the IC title, but I gotta give Jericho credit too. He had great pay-per-view matches in the first half of 2009 with Ricky Steamboat, with Rey Mysterio. He's on Raw and SmackDown. He kind of saved Raw, most people's opinion. I can kind of understand you giving it to him, but I don't know. I think I probably would have gone another direction there. I think Austin Aries was a better choice. He wasn't even nominated. Okay, next we got. I don't like to do the MMA awards, but most valuable, Brock Lesnar. Duh. Most outstanding wrestler. This I'm going to disagree with. Bryan Danielson won it over Davey Richards by like this much, extremely close margin. And KENTA also. I personally think KENTA should have won it. Danielson actually has not had that great of a year. Look back at most of his matches. He was gone for most of the year in ROH in the summer. Yeah, he wasn't there at all in the summer. He did great in the Final Countdown Tour. Very good. That's probably what got him the award since he went to so many promotions across the country. But really, like, Davey had much better matches. KENTA, I would have given it to Davey or KENTA. KENTA had just as many first-place votes as Danielson did, but Danielson had more votes overall. I still would have given it to KENTA. I think they just gave it to Danielson just to give it to Danielson, but whatever. Most outstanding fight of the year, GSP, duh. At least in my opinion, it's a duh. Best box office draw, Lesnar wins again. I gotta agree with them here. John Cena didn't do enough to win it this year. He did come in second though. It was pretty much a blowout. That was pretty much your landslide. Feud of the year, Punk, Jeff Hardy. Got no problems with that. I do think it did pop a buy rate like Chase always told me. They did have great promos. They didn't have great matches. I don't know why Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels was a runner-up. It wasn't a top runner-up. The top two, I'll give it the top two. If you want the top two for the other ones, I'll put them in the description box because I already talked about it though. The other two runner-ups were Brock Lesnar, Frank Mir, and Jericho, Rey Mysterio. Wolves to was on the list, a little lower than I think they should have been though. Tag Team of the Year, the American Wolves. Sorry, Mark, I still say they're better than the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks had more first-place votes. The Young Bucks had 230 first-place votes. The American Wolves had 209. But the American Wolves had more votes overall. And so the runner-ups were the Young Bucks and JERICHO. That's pretty much, I 100% agree with that. Most Improved, The Miz. I disagree with this. He won it last year. I don't understand how you can win Most Improved 2 years in a row. That makes no sense to me at all, unless you keep improving. But he didn't improve that much from last year. Just my opinion. Wrestling's still the same. Cody Rhodes got second, which is just kind of okay. I would have given it to Dolph Ziggler or Brutus Magnus before either of those two. Or Kenny King, who was dead last. But yeah, it was Cody Rhodes and Kofi Kingston, who was another runner-up. I don't know why Kofi was a runner-up. Best on interviews, this pisses me off. Okay, Chris Jericho, fine. Although I think CM Punk should have won. But they give it to Jericho over Punk. I can deal with that. What bothers me is Austin Aries isn't even in the top 16. He isn't even on this list of runners-up. I don't know why Austin Aries is not on this list. That's just ridiculous to me. That's insanely... Nah, I don't want to talk about that. Most Charismatic, they gave it to Cena over Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy would have won if he stayed around the whole year, which he didn't, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to agree with that. I couldn't really think of much else. Although, Rey Mysterio, really? Most charismatic? That was on top 10 runners up. Top 10 runners up were Jeff Hardy and Brock Lesnar. And best under interviews was CM Punk and Frank Mir. And Eddie Kingston was 5. I thought he should have been a lot higher. Best technical wrestler, Bryan Danielson. This I actually do agree with. I do think he's the best technical wrestler in the world, even if he didn't necessarily have the best matches. Number 2 is Kurt Angle. Number 3 was Davey Richards. I'm perfectly fine with that. Kenta's number 10. That's way too low. Bruiser Brody Memorial Award. Obviously, it goes to Necro Butcher. 2 is Joe. 3 was Tanaka. I'm fine with this award. Joe, Butcher, pretty much standard. This is interesting. Best flying wrestler. Evan Bourne won it last year. This year he came in second. Dragon King came in third, and they gave it to Kota Ibushi, which I think is perfectly fine. Jakar's match of the year due to his high flying ability, even though it wasn't this year. His Davey Richards match, and I'm missing a few matches. I can't remember. He's definitely the best high flyer, purely because Evan Bourne wasn't utilized as much. So yeah, I definitely 100% agree with that. I'm looking else at the list. Yeah, I agree. Jack Evans is a little low. I think he should be a little higher. Most overrated, Triple H wins it again, which I think is kind of unfair. He was in DX a lot. He didn't really occupy the title picture, even though I won't say that. He did a lot from from the first half of the year. Second half of the year, you left it on. Team 3D came in second, which is kind of weird. And Kane, why the fuck is Kane there? He's extremely underrated. He's underrated in the ring. He was very, very, very rarely utilized this year. How can you give him most overrated? Fuck you for whoever voted for him. Then Vladimir Kozlov, Kevin Nash, Batista, Khali, Henry. Sheamus should be a lot higher. That's just my opinion. Most underrated, Evan Bourne, which I 100% agree with. It was almost a landslide. Seeing as how he's been utilized this past few weeks, I 100% agree with that. People say Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger was given a decent amount of a push in the first few months of the year. Evan Bourne was not. And then Christian was number 2. But Christian's not underrated. He's being utilized just fine, like Mark said. Promotion of the year, 1 was UFC, no duh. 2 was Dragon Gate, no duh. 3 was WWE. Really? Over Chikara, Ring of Honor, WEC, PWG? Okay. Best weekly TV show? This kind of caught my eye. SmackDown beat The Ultimate Fighter, which it hasn't done in years. Ultimate Fighter, I think, is a 4-year champion. So yeah, SmackDown is the best TV show of the year. Well deserved, in my opinion. By the way, the SmackDown spoilers, have you read them? This SmackDown this week looks fucking awesome. I'm going to say that right now. Ultimate Fighter was second. ROH and HDNet was third. Dave Meltzer actually thought ROH and HDNet should have been lower. I 100% disagree with you. Best match of the year? Obviously, Shawn and Taker with 304 first place votes. And this is just, a big fuck you to all you subscribers who doubted me. Number 2, Davey Richards versus Shingo. Tee! People give me a lot of shit for calling that the second best match of the year. Well, you can't all just go fuck yourselves right now. And third match of the year, Kenta Nakajima, which I put as the 4th match of the year. Brian, I'm going to go over these. Danielson Doi, I think that's a little too high. Kenta and Go versus Kensuke Office, a lot of people really like it. Davey Kenta. Ray Jericho at the Bash, way too high, my opinion. Danielson Davey in the final countouts for Boston. This is a little too low. Joe, Daniels, and AJ, I thought that should have been a lot higher. Kenta Nakajima, Danielson Morishima. Oh, that was the final battle. I didn't like that match that much. Kurt Angle, Desmond Wolfe, John Cena, Randy Orton from Bragging Rights, and from Breaking Point. Yeah. Punk Jeff Hardy in the TLC. Ray John Morrison on SmackDown. I'm glad to see that match got a little recognition. Shoe match of the year. Actually saw this fight. Diego Sanchez versus Clay Guida. I hadn't seen the other two. Ben Henderson, Donald Cerrone, Mike Brown, or Faber, whatever. Rookie of the year, Frightmare. 100% agree. I love that guy. Ricky Steamboat Jr. And then Brutus Magnus. Cody Deaner's on this list, which is just... No. Best non-wrestler, Vicky Guerrero. Obviously, with Jim Cornette down west. Best TV announcer, Jim Ross. 100% fine with that. Best striker, Joe Rogan. Worst television announcer, Michael Cole. No problem. Jerry Lawler and Todd Grisham. I thought that one should be a little higher. Best show. This is what pisses me off. Open the Historic Game. Second best show of the year, in my opinion, after Glory by Honor. Glory by Honor, like Mark said, like Nightmare Bell said, a little bit of everything. Then UFC 100, Untouchable. WrestleMania 25, really? Turning Point. Wrestle Kingdom 3. Backlash, a WEC show. 3 Men 2. Supercard of Honor, No Way Out. The Noah Show, UFC 92, then Glory by Honor. I think Glory by Honor is way too low. Way too low. That's number 1. But Open Historic Gate, number 2. I'm fine with that. SummerSlam. Worst Show, Victory Road. Fine with that. Breaking Point. Second, I'm going to put the runners up in the description box. I don't have time to go over all of them. Okay. Best wrestling maneuver, more bang for your buck, 100% agree. Most disgusting promotional tactic, Piggy James angle. I would have gone with WWE not acknowledging Umaga's death or the Saito incident in Noah. Worst television show, TNA, Impact. Who Sorry for all you TNA marks. Deal with it. Worst match of the year, Sharmell Jenna. Interesting note, Triple H Randy Orton was second. Worst feud of the year, Chavo Guerrero versus Hornswoggle. Raw haters are cheering. Worst promotion of the year, TNA. I'm sorry. True vote. Best Booker, Joe Silva. Mike Quackenbush got second, though. Promoter of the year, Dana White. Best gimmick, CM Punk Straight Edge. Worst gimmick, Hornswoggle. Abraham Washington, second worst gimmick. That gimmick is great. Second best gimmick was Pope, by the way. Austin Aries didn't get high enough on best gimmick. Best book, Midnight Express book. Haven't read it yet, really want to. Best DVD, Macho Madness. I agree with that. I really enjoyed the DVD. And I haven't seen Greatest Stars of the 90s or SmackDown, but I think it was probably pretty good. It deserves more of a recognition. I'm Agree with you 10. I'm out, guys. See you.